Good evening. My name is Shelly Stevens, and I will be presenting this evening on a prototype for a paddle carrier. In addition to that, I'll be introducing you to backcountry canoeing and portaging. I will talk about the problem with portaging with canoe paddles. Then I'll present the solution. We'll talk about who will benefit. We'll go over the tactics of innovation, and we'll talk about the construction of the paddle carrier. So here's the basic design. I'd like to draw your attention to the top part of the paddle carrier. There's a piece of wooden dowling in there that provides support, and then the bottom straps are what you hook the paddles to the paddle carrier with. Here's a picture of the paddle carrier attached to the paddles. So you've got the two straps holding the paddles in place. You've got the wooden dowling that provides the support, and you hold onto the paddle carrier at the top portion of it. Has anyone ever been on a canoe trip? Did you know that there are 78 provincial and territorial canoe routes in Canada? Our favorite place to go canoeing is Algonquin Park, Ontario. There are 1,900 interior park campsites. Now what that means is you can't drive to these campsites. You need to canoe to them. Sometimes it might take you 5, 6, 7 hours to get to your campsite. There are 1,500 lakes in Algonquin Park, and the lakes are connected with trails referred to as portages. Portages range from 50 to 5,000 meters. That's 5 kilometers. Everyone gets out of the canoe and everything needs to be carried from one lake to the next lake. Here's where we present the problem. Somebody carries the canoe, which means all of the gear need to be carried by the other person, including the paddles. And this is what you end up looking like. Now there is an alternate method for carrying those paddles. You can see here that I've inserted them between my body and the front pack that I'm carrying. It's awkward and it's uncomfortable, and just try walking 2 kilometers with this and you'll see why we need to invent something to carry all of these paddles. So the main problem is that multiple paddles are awkward to carry. They're designed so that you can hold on to one comfortably for paddling, but when you have to hold on to 2 or 3, it just doesn't work well. So the solution is to use a paddle carrier. You can carry multiple paddles with a paddle carrier. They're all strapped together, and the paddle carrier is easy to grasp and comfortable to hold on to. Who will benefit from this? Well, backcountry canoeists will benefit, basically anyone who portages. In Algonquin Park alone, there are over 1 million visitors each year. With 1,900 interior campsites, you can register up to 9 people per site. In 2002, a research analyst looked at the trends in provincial park use across Canada, and he recorded 280,000 interior camper permits that year. If we assume an average of 5 people per camping permit, each person with a paddle, that's over 1.3 million paddles being carried around in Algonquin Park on any given year. Now let's remember that there are 78 canoe routes across Canada. The same report listed close to 500,000 interior park permits a year in Canada. Again, assuming 5 people per park permit, that's close to 2.5 million paddles being portaged around Canada in any given year. Portaging is not limited to Canada though. There are canoe routes worldwide. So you can see that there's a potential market for this worldwide, and it's really big. Let's go through the tactics of innovation. Well, the upside is this has solved a problem that I've had for many years, carrying all of those paddles on the portages. The downside is I'm not sure how I'm going to get it out to Ontario. It's too big to fit in my suitcase, so I'm going to have to take it as a carry-on, and I'm not sure what airport security is going to think about that. Ideally, what I would like to do is buy it in Ontario and leave it there with our paddles. The other downside is the wooden dowling is fairly light. It's intended to be that way because you want to keep the weight down. However, it could break. You wouldn't want to use the paddle carrier to beat off a bear or anything like that. The concept is seemingly simple. It's a compatible fit with the problem. The performance is awesome. I've been carrying it around the house and outside, and I am thrilled with how efficient it is. So I'm really looking forward to using it next year. And it's an easy in, easy out. I will sell this paddle carrier for about $20. As a seasoned canoeist, I know that many people would be willing to buy it, and I'll offer a money-back guarantee, but I am absolutely certain that there won't be a single one returned. Let's take a quick look at the construction. We've got wooden dowling, black strap, parachute clips, and some black thread. So that's all you need to build the paddle carrier, plus a sewing machine to sew it all together. That's what the finished product looks like. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Be sure to check out the video to see the ease with which the paddle carrier is used. And if you've never done so, I'd really encourage you to give canoeing a try. It's a wonderful experience. Here are my references if you require additional information.